Hey y'all, thought I'd give you a tip on what I'm doing, and I'm making these pillows. All right, so I've got a bunch of them to make. I've got like 13 of them to make. It's kind of upside down there, but there's like the front, and of course I haven't stitched the backs, but I know I want the pillow 9 inches wide by 10.5 inches tall. So I made this template. Right, so I got 9 this way and 10.5 that way. So then I can use the template. I've got at least 3 different pieces to measure from. I measure the distance from here to the frame, from the heel to the frame, and from the cloud to the frame, just to make sure I have it square. And then these 2 readings are like 15 millimeters, and the last one's 10. Then I can use this frame and just draw right through it and draw a line around, so I know that's where my pillow's going to be. I'll do that, and then I'll come back and show you my next step. Okay, so I measured that point and made sure it was 15 millimeters and that. So I then drew a line around it, and that gets me what the pillow actual size is going to be. All right, so the next step then is I'll measure 3/4 of an inch off of this line to be my, this would be, in the end will be the line I sew on, and then I'm going to measure 3/4 of an inch off of that line to give me where I'll cut from the frame. Make sense? So I'm gonna take it out of the frame, do the measurements, and show you some more. Okay, so you can see I have these markings. Remember, this is the actual line I'm going to sew on, and this is, I believe, what they're going to call the CMeNots. I got that right. So I will just put a long edge in my cutter, and I will just cut along these lines to get the finished size of the pillow, and I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so you can see I've got all the cutaway, and you'll notice that I made sure I was always cutting above the line so that I can see my reference line once I draw that on. And you'll notice all the edges are round so they don't stick up through the pillow once the 2 ends are, the front and the back are sewn together. Alrighty, I'll bring it back when I have it marked up. Okay, so you can see I've got it all cut up, and here's like one of the edge pieces that were left over. I saved these because then when I want to go to stitch the pillow together, I'll take a piece of this fabric and a piece of the back fabric and actually sew them on the machine together to make sure I get the stitch length and all that set up right on my sewing machine over here. So that'll help in that process. So the next step for me then is I need to get rid of a bunch of this cutaway because we don't need it there. So I'll get rid of all this extra cutaway, and then what I'll do is I'll measure back from the edge 3/4 of an inch and draw that line again. So that'll be the sew line, so I know where I have to sew when the 2 pieces go together. Sound good? I'll bring you back for the next piece. So there you go. As you can see, I've got my lines back down here, and again, these will be the lines that I'll sew on when I'm putting the pillow together, because remember, they go good side to good side, and then you're going to flip them and turn them inside out. So I just thought this was a really cheap, nice way to give you a good line to stitch on, as well as to make sure that every one of the pillows are the same, because in the end, I'm making 13 of these bad boys for Christmas. So needed all the help I can get. Templates help out a lot. Have a good one. Hi all. Sorry about the sound. My machine's running in the background. But I thought today I'd go through how I put the pillow together. So we have the back side and the front side. So I did a bit of sewing on both of these to see which one's best on the down side under the presser foot and which one's best to use top side up. And the red works best down. So that'll be, so I'll take the back side and, whoops, sorry, do it right side up. And take the front side and we'll lay it on top. Make sure the corners are all square. And then I'm going to start in the corners and just pin that. And I like to pin both sides to keep it square. And I'll spin it. And I'll do this side again. And then the other side. So you can see we're all nice and pinned together. So the next thing I have to do is, and I actually practiced this on a pillow before, but what we need is where we're going to start to stop the bottom, because we need a hole to turn it right side out. So I played around with this, and basically it's so 3 inches in from each corner. So 3 inches in from either corner. I'll put a pin for now. I'll mark them later when I'm actually stitching. So 3 inches in. This gives me a good place to know where to start and stop when I'm sewing the seam. So I'll start here and I'll sew all the way around and stop here. That leaves this opening to turn everything inside out, right? And then it's just fill it with polyfill and move on. So I've got that done. Let me set that aside. I can show you what I've done. So here's a pillow that I completed. You see I just turned it inside out. And here's that bottom seam, 3 inches in on each side. So it gives me two, and I'm just top sewing it here. Now I did make sure that the top thread's green and the bobbin thread's red, so it kind of hides it. And I did it on the bottom because most people are going to have it set up like this anyway, either the front or the back, so you really won't see that seam. So that's all there is. I've got, let's see, 13 more of these to do. I'll be done. So I'm sending them out in October. So everybody should be getting them then. Have a great day. Thanks for sticking out to the end. I know it's a long video. Here are all the fronts and the backs. Two of the backs shown, so you can see how many I had to make. And then I rearranged the pillows so that's mostly all fronts and one back. So you can see all the ones that went out. And then I then flipped them and put all the backs up with one front, so you can kind of see all those together, which I thought came out pretty cool as well. And then the last shot I have here is where I kind of just mixed them all together and let them be what they be. So hope you all like them. See ya.